In the days before their deaths, the Gruber family kept noticing things that didn't add up. Footprints in the snow, leading from the edge of the woods to their farmhouse, but none leading back out. A set of house keys that went missing, then were never found. Strange noises coming from the attic at night, like someone walking around up there. A newspaper that turned up on the property that none of them had ordered or bought. The farm was called Hinterkaifeck, an isolated property in Bavaria, Germany, home to Andreas Gruber, his wife, their adult daughter Victoria, her 2 young children, and a newly hired maid. Andreas mentioned the footprints to a neighbor, who suggested he go to the police. He didn't. Then, on the last night of March 1922, someone came into the barn and killed Victoria, her parents, and her 7-year-old daughter with a pickaxe, one at a time, apparently luring each of them into the barn separately so the others wouldn't hear. The killer wasn't finished. They then went into the farmhouse and killed the family's youngest child, a toddler, and the newly hired maid, who had only started working there that same day. The bodies weren't discovered until days later, when neighbors grew concerned that the family hadn't been seen. When investigators arrived, they found something disturbing, evidence that someone had continued living in the house after the murders. Food had been eaten. The animals had been fed. Smoke had been seen coming from the chimney in the days following the killings, meaning the killer likely stayed on the property, in the house with the bodies, for several days before finally leaving. Investigators found no clear signs of robbery. The motive was never established. Dozens of suspects were investigated over the following decades, including a former farmhand, a rejected suitor, and even Victoria's own presumed dead first husband, but no one was ever charged. To this day, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain unsolved. 6 people were killed, someone stayed behind in that house with the bodies for days, and whoever did it was never identified.